Good morning to all my wonderful viewers out there. Welcome back to another episode of Streetwear Talk, where we talk about the latest streetwear news, streetwear releases, and streetwear collections. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about someone we haven't talked about on the channel at all. I may have mentioned them once or twice. We've never talked about their upcoming releases. We've never talked about them as a designer. And I kind of want to tick both of those boxes off my little list today, just so we have some content on the channel about this designer. And also, I was having a little look on YouTube. There isn't actually that much content about this designer on YouTube. And I felt like, you know what? There kind of just needs to be. So in today's episode, we're going to be talking about Warren Lotas and his upcoming capsule, which is being dubbed the NBA 3 2020 capsule. Now, where to begin? Because we've only ever mentioned Warren before on the channel. We've never really dived into who he is, what he does, and why I think he's worth talking about today. So we'll start it off with how I came into locating and finding about Warren. So I reckon I'm like struggling to remember it these days, but I reckon I found him around 3 to 4 years ago. 2017 sounds more like it. So I feel like it was late 2016, early 2017 that I came across one of his pieces. Now, because it was such a long time ago, I honestly wouldn't be able to tell you what piece I came across. But the best thing about Warren is that he has a very unique, but a very consumable and a very enjoyable art style that is very recognizable and very unique to him. So if you see a Warren piece, you know it's a Warren piece, because there may be other people out there that are doing the similar or the same art style, but he does it in a way with the shading, with the detail, where you're like, you know what? That must be inspired by Warren. That must, take reference from Warren, but it's not a Warren piece. You know what I mean? If you saw someone who was doing pieces like Warren, you would know that it's not Warren because it doesn't look exactly the way that he does it. You'll know what I mean when I show you some of the pieces in a second, and when I show you what's dropping in his NBA Part 3. So yeah, he's a designer that does these amazing skull graphics on various different pieces. I think he's done literally everything when it comes to clothing. I think he's done shorts, he's done hoodies, he's done shirts, he's done jerseys, he does caps, he's done face masks. Yeah, he's done literally everything. I don't think there's an item of clothing that I can think of that he hasn't done. Maybe underwear, but like, do we need Warren Lotas underwear? Maybe? Either way, basically he's done everything, and it's really, really awesome. He's collaborated with a bunch of brands over the years, and honestly, I think he deserves way more praise than he already gets. But I mean, if anything, he's already on 168,000 followers on Instagram, so he's pretty well known. Not like me, 2,000 followers over here. Underground, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, no, he does absolutely amazing work. And what I really love about Warren is his commitment and his personality when it comes to how he handles his collections, how he handles himself on his Instagram. He just seems like one of the fellas that you would go grab a beer with. He just seems like a really nice guy. And when it comes to his releases, there's transparency, When he talks about, oh, this is an upcoming release, this is how it's gonna drop, yada yada yada. He openly says it on his Instagram story. He saves it as a highlight on his Instagram page, so you can always go back to it. You can always refer to it. It's not something he just says for 24 hours and then it's gone. His word is gone. He'll save it as a highlight so you can come back to those quotes and be reassured that he's going to deliver on his promises. Now, I know I'm talking him up a lot and you haven't even seen any designs yet. So what I think we should do is I'll head over to Warren's Instagram page. We'll discuss and I'll showcase some of his pieces to you, and then we'll head into what's dropping in his NBA Part 3 collection here. Now, I know we haven't even shown any pieces, but if you guys want me to keep covering Warren, if you already know who Warren is, and you want me to keep talking about his upcoming releases on the channel, don't forget to leave this video a big old like on it. Don't forget to comment in the comment section down below. And I would say subscribe to hit 2,125 subs. But you guys did that overnight. So I'm kind of feeling like as much as I'm like, you know what, let's go for 2,200 and by the end of May we can do it. I don't want to set that huge and hard milestone, but you fellas are killing every other milestone I set. Yesterday I was like, oh yeah, 2,125 subs. We won't hit that in one night. Bam, you guys hit it in one night. So I'm doing it to you because you've been too crazy. You've been too crazy with those subs. Let's hit 2,200 subs by the end of May. I'm setting it in motion. I'm setting it in motion because you guys are absolutely wild with the subs. Thank you for the support. Thank you for everyone that has been subbing recently. You've been crazy. You've been absolutely crazy. So I'm setting you a bit of a harder milestone, 2,200 by the end of May. We've got about 13 days. That's like 70 subs in 13 days. See, it's a tough one. It's a tough one, but I reckon we can hit it, fellas. I reckon we can do it. But without further ado, let's head on over to Instagram and then we'll start talking about Warren's art style and his pieces. And then we'll talk about what's dropping on tonight's drop on the NBA Part 3 2020 capsule. So we're going to start with the shameless plug, you know, we're going to start with my Instagram. Come on, we got to give it a little bit of love here. We've got my designed sneakers that I've done on my highlights. We've got all my vinyls that I've posted. I just need to showcase my Instagram a little bit. I actually haven't posted in ages. I need to post more of these vinyls I've got here, but I just love making videos for you fellas, and I've kind of just distracted myself from posting vinyls instead of doing that, you know. I've just been doing too many videos. I love it too much. But what we'll do, just so I can showcase to you the spelling and everything like that, so you don't get confused, the link will be in the description section below for his Instagram. What do you know, it's the second option there. But I will link it down below if you can't be bothered going to Instagram and looking his name up. It will be down below just so you guys can go into it. So it's Warren, W-A-R-R-E-N, Lotas. L-O-T-A-S. I don't know if it's Lotus or Lotus, you know, L-O-T-A-S or L-O-T-A-S. I think it's Lotus, but each to their own, I suppose. So, here we go. Now, as you can see, as I mentioned, anything to do with his releases, he posts little highlights on his Instagram story so you can stay up to date. So he's actually making his own dunks, his own version of the dunks. It's called the Jason dunks, I think. There's only like 100 pairs being made or something like that, and it's been in production for like 3 to 4 months now. Now, if you're worried about the release or anything like that, you can watch the highlights where he has all of his updates on the production of that. His clothing pieces don't take anywhere near as long as the dunks. The dunks are new territory for him, but just in case you're worried about a release that he says is coming a couple months down the line, he has updates for you here. I think it's really, really well done. So we'll start off just by covering maybe his previous drop. So his previous drop was obviously we're covering the NBA Part 3 drop. So the Part 2 drop, which was this one here, he released a bunch of hoodies, a bunch of tees with the same graphic, couple jerseys, couple hats, and a couple sports shorts as well with his famous scythe and, you know, literally look at his profile picture. It's literally a skull and the whole image has it holding a scythe. Now, in Part 2, we got a bunch of different pieces. I didn't cover Part 2 on the channel, but like, look at this art style. Look at this. Of NBA Houston player with a jetpack on the back, skull themed, that to slam dunk that ball in. Flames in the back, but look at the art style, look at the shading, look at the detail, absolutely crazy. Owned and operated by the billionaire dollar buyer Tillman Fertitta. But I think it's Fertitta. I think that's how you pronounce his name, right? He does just absolute insane pieces. Look at this Philly piece. Look at this Philly piece. This is absolutely insane. The colors, and from what I know, he also doesn't do it on crappy, cheap blanks. I don't know if he did originally, but he definitely doesn't do it anymore. Warren, from what I know, don't quote me on it though, but from what I know, from what I've seen on his story, he cuts and sews his own pieces. Now, if you don't know what that means, a lot of brands in the streetwear, atmosphere, they buy what's called a blank. It's these hoodies that are already designed and manufactured by a separate company. So an example, Gildan makes blanks, Independent makes blanks, lots of brands use blanks. So for an example, Gildan blanks. Kanye West, when he made his album merch, most of the time prints it on Gildan blanks. Antisocial Social Club, they print on independent blanks. And Travis Scott, when Travis Scott does his merch, he prints on independent blanks. And even like I'm wearing today with Supreme, Supreme doesn't make their own clothing. They hire a Canadian company, which I think from memory is called CYC, and CYC makes their blanks. And don't bother trying Googling Supreme's CYC blanks, because you will not be able to contact the company to get Supreme blanks. Don't worry, I've tried, I absolutely love it. If I could get the quality of Supreme hoodies as blanks to do my own brand, woo, I would lose my mind. So yes, as I was going on about, a lot of brands in the streetwear atmosphere use blanks. Now what Warren does is he does a thing called cut and sew, where he grabs the fabric and he sews it and, you know, cuts it and puts it together to make his own, essentially his own blanks. You know, he doesn't pay a different company to, you know, make blanks for him. He has a team that makes it instead. It's a lot better way of handling it. It usually means that it's of a higher quality. It allows for more customization when it comes to the designer, because obviously they can choose how wide they want it, how long they want it. They can do it to their specifications. Warren doesn't have to go to that company that makes the blanks and say, hey, can you make it this wide, this long? He can just buy the cloth and the material and make it as wide and as tall as he wants, which is a much better way to handle it if you are a designer and if you are an upcoming brand. So from what I know, remember, don't quote me on this, it's cut and sew. It's very, very high quality. Again, ideally, I would have loved to buy one of his pieces and review it on the channel for you guys, you know, to give you my own review of Warren's quality and his pieces. One day I hope to do that. I'm not going for the drop that's happening, the NBA Part 3 drop, but a future drop down the line I'll probably try and go for, because I do want to pick up some of his pieces. I mean, do you not? Look at this art style. This art style is absolutely insane. I would love to pick up some of his pieces just to review it on the channel. Some of you guys have been requesting that I do a pickups series on t-shirts. I've written it down, don't worry, I put it into consideration. I'm definitely considering doing a pickup series in shirts, and Warren would definitely get a spot in the pickup series. I would love to pick up some of his shirts. They're absolutely insane. But yes, from what I know, they're cut and sew, so they're custom made. They just look really, really high quality, and they're just absolutely insane pieces. Look at the level of detail, look at the art style. It looks super, super comfy. I absolutely love it. NBA 2K16, this piece is amazing, obviously mimicking the video games cover there. It's just awesome. So that was everything that dropped in his part 2 drop, everything here. Now, he hasn't done a summary post like he did for part 2, and I think he even did one, yeah, for part 1 as well. Part 1 was absolutely insane. Have a look at some of the part 1 pieces here. So, whew, whew, look at that jersey. Look at that jersey. That jersey's insane. Look at that hoodie. Like, come on, tell me you do not want to pick that up right now. So this was part 1. That hoodie was absolutely insane. I gotta say, that hoodie, and I think he did a sweater of it as well. Let me just see. We'll have to go back, I think. I think he did a sweater version of it. Yeah, or it was a... Yeah, no, it might have been a long sleeve tee. No, there it is. Okay. Look at that. Wow. What a piece. It's just amazing. The stuff that he does is absolutely amazing. So we should probably dive into part 3. So as I said, he hasn't done a summary of it yet. There might be a few more pieces to come, but he'll hopefully post a summary post of what's dropping, just like he did with part 1 and part 2. I assume a summary post is going to be the next thing he posts here. But what's dropping in part 3 is everything from this photo here onwards. So we are getting a, I think, let's have a look, it'll say it in the description, 17th of the 5th, which is today, I believe. Yes, so we are getting a Raptors jersey like this. Love this art style, love this design. This design's absolutely insane, right? We have the Bucks jersey, and what I love about this Bucks jersey here, right, is that if you look at the background, it's got this woodland camo on the purple, but he's still got the art style on the top, and I love it. Fear the deer. Amazing, amazing. I absolutely love it. It's sweet. Next, he's got this Bucks, these Bucks pieces he's doing. This is getting printed on hoodies and shirts, I think. Yeah, and caps as well. This is dropping as well as a part of his NBA Part 3 series. Obviously, this is meant to mimic the Ralph Lauren logo, where it's a guy on a horse playing that God, what's that game that you play on horseback with the thingy? You know what I mean. You know the logo. You know what I mean. You know what I mean. Obviously, this is a little bit of a mockery, a little bit of his own version of it. Yeah, absolutely crazy. So he's doing his own version of it. It is coming out in hoodies as well. So if you're interested in a black hoodie with this design on it, you can get it on a hoodie. And he's also got some release details here to do with his drop here. So NBA drop Sunday, 5th of the 17th. Every order will enter a raffle to win one of 5 pairs of the Jason Dunks from cancelled orders. He also mentioned on his Instagram story today that your order has to be $50 minimum to get into the actual raffle there. So as I mentioned, he is doing his own dunks. We'll actually probably view that just after I read the rest of these release details. Some people have cancelled their orders, so he's putting in a raffle system where if you spend over $50 on this new order on the NBA drop 5th of the 17th, you'll be put into the raffle for the Jason Dunks. There are people reselling those for like $4 grand on Grailed and stuff like that. It's ridiculous. And to speak on that, a lot of his stuff does resell for ridiculous amounts of money as well. Every order will come with a free mask, free Warren Lotas designed mask that's made in the United States, and there's free FedEx shipping anywhere in the world. So that's why his pieces come in at a little bit more expensive. I think his hoodies are around $180 and his shirts are I don't know the price of the shirts, unfortunately. Sorry, fellas. I reckon it's under 100 USD, but they do come in at a little bit of an expensive price. But you do get free FedEx shipping, you get a free mask, and if you spend over $50, which if you're buying a hoodie that's 180 USD, you are entering, you will enter in to win a raffle of the Jason Dunks. Does that not just sound like the best deal? It is a little bit expensive, but you get all 3 of these things in your price there. I think that's a really good steal. We'll just try and find an image of the dunks. There we go. So these are the Jason Dunks that he has made. He has made them in the same factory that Saint Laurent and Balmain have made them in. So it's really, really high quality. In his story, I think, in his dunk story there, I think he obviously got his own pair early. And as you can see, Luke, it's Subart, isn't it? Subart? I think it's Subart. Sabat, yeah, got his version early, and apparently the quality is amazing. It's out of this world. I would love a pair, but you know, the man over here is a size US 16 or 17. He definitely did not release them in that size. So yeah, those are the dunks that you will get put into the draw of if you spend more than $50 on this upcoming drop. It's absolutely crazy. Let's find some more images. So we got some more images here. Just trying to see if he's got like a big photo shoot of them. But look at some of his pieces, man. Some of his pieces are... One of my favorite pieces that he did recently was the Punisher hoodies. I don't know how he didn't get sued by Marvel for doing those, but we'll head back up to the recent stuff he's done. So, yes, the drop for the part 3 is happening on Sunday, 5th of May, Sunday, the 17th of May, which is today for me, but I reckon it's going to be really early in the morning, Monday morning for me, because, you know, I live in Australia. 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. He's got the website in his bio, so you can go straight to his store page when the drop actually happens. This is everything that's releasing in the drop. There looks to be a couple more releases. As you can see, he'll post a summary image of everything that's dropping in part 3 when he has that done. So this is just like a little bit of a teaser here on what's actually dropping. Look at this Celtics piece that he is also dropping in it. Absolutely crazy until the clock says 0. Really well designed there. Another Bucks one, a Bucks tee. I just love that tee. That tee is absolutely insane there. We have an alternative Philly hoodie. He obviously dropped the red version in part 2, but he's doing a blue and white version here in part 3. Crazy piece, crazy piece. But that's really about it. So what I thought I would do in today's video was just showcase some of the pieces that are being teased for part 3. And then you guys can go follow Warren, which will be in the description section below. You can also just look up his name on Instagram. And then when he posts the summary image, you guys will know what's fully getting released in part 3. But personally, I think the guy just offers a really good deal for the stuff that he sells. He regularly drops, like, I think it's every, I don't know how regular it is, but it's quite regular. It's not like a seasonal thing where he does like, you know, like fall, winter, spring, summer. He drops these regular drops quite frequently. He's just got some insane pieces. I don't own anything from him yet, but I reckon in 2020 it'll be my year. I reckon I'll pick something up from him. He just does these crazy pieces. I would be looking probably towards something that isn't basketball themed. From what he's been saying on his stories, this will be the last NBA drop for a while. I think he might be focusing on other things, or the virus might, you know, prevent him from doing that. But yeah, he's just done some absolute crazy work over the years, and I really just wanted to showcase him on the channel for you fellas, just in case you're interested in his art style or any of the pieces. But if you are interested in his pieces, he does have this upcoming drop, the NBA 3 drop, that's happening today on the 17th of May, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Really, I just wanted to showcase him to you guys, and I just wanted to show what stuff he is selling in his new upcoming drop. Now that I've showcased it all to you, now that I've shown you, you know, every what he's all about, all of his pieces that he drops, the art style that he does, most of what is coming out in part 3. Remember, what will finally be coming out in part 3 will be shown in this like summary image here that hasn't been posted yet. It'll eventually come. Yeah, so just stay tuned for that. I just thought I'd showcase that to you guys. I've showcased everything. What are your thoughts and opinions? Do you know Warren? Have you copped from Warren before? Maybe you can fill in some of the missing details that I was missing in that comment section below, just because I don't have all the details because I've never bought from him before. I do really want to buy from him though, because I mean, look at this art style. Come on, you're telling me you don't love this? This is absolutely crazy. But yeah, let me know all your thoughts and opinions on drop 3, so everything here, and just Warren in general. Let me know in that comment section below what your thoughts are on Warren, if you knew about Warren before this video, if you just discovered him now because of this video. Seriously, let me know all your thoughts and opinions on Warren Lotas's designs, or his upcoming drop that's happening today on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, or as always in the comment section below. Woo! I know I had a lot to say about Warren there, guys, but as I said, I've been following him for like probably about like 3 to 4 years now, and I know this video is a lot longer than I wanted it to be, but I wanted to say everything in this video that I have been wanting to say about him, and at the same time wanted to cover his new NBA drop part 3 that is dropping on Sunday, today, the 17th of May, for 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time or 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. You know, I wanted to talk about him as a designer and his upcoming drop, so it's essentially 2 videos in one, so that's why it's a long one today. He's an absolutely amazing designer, awesome guy. I've never met him, but from how he portrays himself on his Instagram, he seems like a good bloke. As I said, one of the fellas to grab a beer with, honestly. But yeah, no, I absolutely love his designs. I would love to pick some of them up, but dude, he posts about it all the time. They just resell for so much on Grailed, man. Like, they're like really collectible. People just love buying them off people secondhand on Grailed. If you want a Warren piece, buy it straight from his store. It's the easiest way to do it. You're gonna pay a lot less than you are if you're gonna go on Grailed and pick one up. Like, it's just the easiest. It's honestly just the easiest way, and that's why I wanted to talk about him and cover his new drop, because then there's your chance, you know, there's your chance to buy a piece from him. He, as I said though, he hasn't released the summary for the NBA drop 3, because obviously maybe he's got more planned for it, but he's got most of it posted on his Instagram, and if you want the final summary of part 3, follow him on Instagram, man. It's the easiest way to go about it. I'm not going to be copying from this collection. I spent a little bit too much money on some secondhand stuff from Grailed yesterday. They were steals, so I'm sorry, I spent a little bit too much there. I'll definitely unbox that stuff when it arrives, but I've been buying a lot of stuff from America, And yeah, the shipping, not so great, but it looks like one of the pieces might be arriving tomorrow, maybe Tuesday. So we might have a little unboxing video in the next couple days for you fellas, which will be a good time. That'll be good, yeah. But yeah, back to Warren. Love his stuff, love his art style. I wish I could have every single piece, you know, I would wear it all the time. It's just, but in saying that, I love the art style, don't know the quality, so I would have to suss out the quality, but just looking at it and just from what I've heard, it's insane. So we'll have to see. As I said, really, I wanted to do a review of one of his pieces before making this video, so I could say with confidence that it's really, really high quality. I've only seen from his stories, only seen from reviews that it is high quality, so that's all I can really give you guys. So in the future, I will definitely try and cop one of his pieces, review it on the channel, so then I can say with confidence that it's really good. But I won't be copying from this NBA drop because I spent a little bit too much money on Grailed yesterday. Classic me, classic me. But let me know in the comment section below, guys. Are you looking to pick up anything from this drop? Is there anything that you're like, that's fire, I need it? Is there anything that you actually own? Any like Warren pieces that you've bought in the past? Give us a review of it. Give us a review of it in that comment section below, but I would love to pick some of his stuff up. Hopefully a drop in the future, I will definitely be able to do that, but it's just awesome. Seriously, let me know all your thoughts and opinions on Warren's designs in general, or his part 3 that he's dropping today in the comment section below. And as I said, if you guys want me to cover like new upcoming releases by him, like his new drops, everything like that, don't forget to leave a big old like on this video, a comment in the comment section down below, and a subscribe on the channel. Remember, I've set the new milestone now. We're going for 2,200 subs by the end of May. You guys have been blowing it out of the water. You've been going absolutely wild with the subscribes. You know, I was like, yeah, 2,125, that's a good number. You know, they won't hit it. You fellas smashed it out of the park. I'm like, god damn, dude, god damn. Okay, so I'm setting you something more difficult. 2,200, let's see if we can do it. I think we can do it, but I want to see if we can do it. Anyway, that's everything I got to say about Warren and his NBA drop part 3. Follow his Instagram if you want the summary image on what's dropping when it drops. It's dropping 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on his store. So let me know your thoughts and opinions about that in the comment section below. And until the next Warren Lotas video, until the next streetwear video, until the next sneaker video, guys, I'll catch you later.